Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at Uniswap, UNI, whatever you want to call it. It is interesting to say the least. Fantastic little surge here today after dropping down that 0.382 fib level and sustaining itself above the 200-day simple moving average. Fantastic stuff. Love to see that. That's where the 200 SMA really comes into play. Again, thank you again to my community members. I think it was Pavone, CryptTwins, and Kratos all requested Uniswap in the last 24 hours, so gotta cover it. Thanks again so much for the request. And also, quick heads up, if you are new to the channel, we are partnered with Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. They use no KYC or VPN is required there. And what's great about them is we have exclusive campaigns frequently. Okay, so right now you just get 20 bucks just for trading futures here with them. You do have to use my link to qualify, but simple as that. You trade in the next week in futures, you get the extra little bonus there. Again, more to come, obviously, but thanks again so much for the opportunity. Bitunix, greatly appreciate you guys. And gals, actually, my affiliate is a nice young lady. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look here at Uniswap on the daily, work our way down. This is kind of the daily time frame. And just to clarify again, we maintained 0.382, $4.90 quite well even after the drop from Bitcoin yesterday. This recovery is very nice. I can totally see why. If you want me to take a look here, we can see we're converging on the MACD as well. So while the daily candlestick hasn't closed yet, this is a very good sign. We got, 3.5 hours left before the day is over, 3:15. So again, looking pretty solid there in that sense. We want to take a look as well at liquidation levels. So if you're kind of curious about the back end here, let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So Uniswap, here we go. So we're looking at Uniswap here. Pretty gnarly in a lot of ways. A lot of shorts are getting just hammered. So we got massive amount of short liquidation at 550, a lot more at 570, and just again here at about 605. So we're going to take a look at some of those levels, but we do have a lot of liquidation at 475 as well for the longs, but that's even though that could be a target, it's a long ways away. Okay, so no pun intended. That is a long ways away. So we can see different levels though. Again, it was like roughly here, and here are the liquidation levels that we saw on that chart. So most of them are right just below the Fibonacci retracement levels. That's pretty standard trading stuff, okay? So in other words, really common to see positions hedged right just above or below key levels, and those are some key levels. Also to note as well, we had some fair value gap here that just got filled at about 595. So it does lead to the possibility of the price action pulling back, okay? In other words, when you fill a fair value gap, it's quite common for the price to pull back, at least in the most recent support. So we could very well see a pullback to like the 560 range there at 0.618. That could be a possibility, okay? So again, some really cool stuff here. We can also take a look at Elliott Wave, that if the price does pull back, we'll probably see this halfway to 0.382 fib level retested. So again, if we kind of pull this guy, well, we'd have to reverse the fibs. Let's go ahead and just do to get some fibs here on the 4-hour time frame, because this is the time frame I prefer to kind of utilize them anyways. But we got some larger time frame support and resistance levels, right? So that's the important thing here. So let's go ahead and do this here. Go ahead and add this guy and just kind of see roughly what that looks like. Because if the price does pull back, again, 0.382, 0.5, 0.618 are the common retracement zones. So we could see, again, 550, 560 range retested with possibility of 540 or 525. Okay, so those are some possibilities there. As far as liquidity, we got some fair value just below the price action and some previous ones. Actually, these are previous liquidity levels that were significantly swept. So oftentimes when you sweep liquidity levels, they can work as a new support. So we may not see the price pull back that hard. 562 could be the next support level. And then when we take a look at TD sequential, we can see we're at a 6 here. So, obviously we're progressing quite nicely here, about 24 hours of this progression. And if you look at its history too, you can kind of see some 9s here. We got an 8 there. It's pretty common for this coin to hit an overextended state and pull back, or not even get close to it. A lot of 6s here and 7s as well. So it does tell me that we're getting closer to our overextended state. We're up over 50 on the RSI and 70, of course, and money flow index is high. So if you've seen my videos, you'll probably know what's coming here. I'm going to tell you that it's not advantageous with this amount of volume to consider shorting into this coin. While it does seem like a juicy target and there's a great chance it could pull back, there's no guarantee it will, okay? Again, a significant amount of support at 525. So if the price does pull back, that would be a pretty solid bouncing point. That'd be probably a worst case scenario is at 0.618 level. So again, 525 would be a great entry if the price ends up pulling back to that range. I myself would much rather wait for a long if the price pulls back than taking a short from here. But we want to look for other signs too and see if there's anything else kind of letting us know. But generally speaking, these are the main things I like to look for. We can also look at our weekly high, low, open, close. We can see our weekly high is right there at about 563. That's right there at that previous liquidity level too. You can kind of see that there. So, in truth, that could be our new low. Okay, so 565 could be the next bouncing point for this coin if it pulls back. If it doesn't pull back, it'll continue higher, of course. Where it could go next, let's go ahead and just double check this, because this is another question I get a lot for targets. And ultimately what we want to look at here is 1.272 or 1.618. These are the two most common areas I've noticed overextensions occur. So if we get another leg up and we break through 605, we could very well see a rush up to about 640. So if I'm going to consider a short, it's going to be right in this range here, 630 to 640, just to, kind of hedge the bet here, so to speak. Because again, there's no guarantee it's going to come up to those levels, but it does commonly come up to those ranges, okay, when we do have a push past an overextended state. Right, with us being about 24 hours in this potential of 36-hour continuation, I don't have any reason to want to short this coin just yet. Now, we could have an overextension on the hourly. Let's see what that looks like here. We do. We're in about 4 hours of overtime. So in truth, we could and should very well see a pullback soon. Let's just quickly look at its history here. If we look at its history to the downside, we came down to a 9, had a little bit of overtime, came all the way down. So we had about 4 or 5 hours of extra after we hit a 9. We had a previous 9 here, 3 or 4 hours extra. Previous 9, 3 or 4 hours extra. Pretty common characteristic for this coin to run 13, 14 hours at a time. But to the upside, I don't see any significance there. We do see a 9 here on TD sequential for the last time it pumped up as well. So, shoot. See, I hate situations like this because honestly, it's like you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. I would say the statistical probability of the price action pulling back right now is greater, considering what we see here. But once more, we have a significant amount of reason not to take a short because the cloud is kind of confirming that there is nothing here leading, pushing the price action down. Again, with this extra amount of volume, this is a massive concern for me. With all the extra volume coming into the coin, we're well above that moving average. And still, until we start tapering off and averaging below this 20-day SMA on the volume, I don't really have a reason to want to short this coin. So again, I'm going to keep my alert active here. If we surge up to that level, might consider a short around 630, 640. That seems kind of crazy too, I'm sure, but shorting into a high amount of volume is kind of a death sentence. Almost every single time you do that, the price action continues higher. And we can see here, take a look at this. There's multiple occurrences where people thought the exact same thing. I'm going to try to short at 540. Nope. Just kidding. I'm going to try to short at 570. Not going to happen. I'm okay. I'm going to put my short at 605. Wick right up to 605. Perfect. Okay, so again, market movers know what they're doing. So try not to bet against them just yet. I think it's a little too early and premature. I'm going to consider, again, 630 to 660 as my range of entry for a short. But again, I'm going to reevaluate at that time too. Another thing to recognize as well, and this is important to note, and we didn't mark these earlier, apologize, is just key resistance levels based on daily candlestick closures. So these are some areas to kind of pay attention to. Coincidentally, right there close to 630, we have a previous one-day candlestick close with a lot of resistance at 625. So I'm actually going to move my alert down to 625 and see what happens if we get there. Okay, so again, folks, make sure that you remain cautious and careful. Do not short this coin just yet. I do not recommend it. I'm sure as soon as I upload the video, the price is going to drop. That's just how it goes sometimes. But at this exact moment, it doesn't look ideal to consider a short just yet. All right, folks, remember, patience pays off. Please remember to pay close attention to a lot of key factors there, and most important, your own risk tolerance, and ensure that you're not taking a trade that is outside of your comfort zone just because Tom, Dick, and Harry tells you to do so, okay? So if, XYZ over here is shorting a coin at 150x, maybe 100x, you probably don't want to listen to them because they're extremely risky. All of our trades are simple. They're 5x leverage trades, and we are very successful consistently. These are some scalping trades. We had some phenomenal swing trades here recently as well. Quite a few are just about ready. We got nice low averages with that dip from yesterday, and we're ready to hit some strong take profit targets. So again, congrats to our community members for being patient. Patient pays off, okay? All right, thanks again, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to jump on over to Bitunix. Phenomenal exchange. Again, take advantage of this offer here next week. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day.